Hey guys, how's it going? If you are struggling to get better at guitar and you don't know why, then this video is for you. I'm going to be telling you about 6 problems that you might have and how to fix them. Now this video might have some harsh truths in it, but I'm really not trying to talk smack about your playing.
I'm trying to help you.
And I'm guilty of a lot of these things myself, so you can take my word for it. Anyway, let's begin. So the first problem you might be having, and this is a big one, is wasted hours. So you may have heard of the rule that if you put 10,000 hours into something, you'll become a professional at it. But when it comes to guitar, this is not true at all. So often what we do is when we have a lot of time to practice, we waste that time. It's better to spend 15 minutes really giving it your all in a focused practice than it is to spend an hour just noodling on the guitar. Now there's nothing wrong with noodling, but it doesn't help us improve. So the way to fix this is to have a structured practice plan. You should be starting off with a little warm-up, even if you don't have a lot of time to practice, to get the hands synchronized, to wake up your muscles, and then you need to spend a certain amount of time on each aspect you want to improve. It helps to have a plan written out so that you know what to do, but if you don't want to do that, you can create a plan mentally. You just have to make sure that you stick to it. The second thing that might be holding you back is that bad technique creates bad habits. And what I mean by this is, for many of us, when we start learning guitar and we're learning all these techniques, we start to learn some of them wrong and we build a bit of a dodgy foundation. And once we learn an incorrect technique, it becomes habit and we struggle to change it afterwards. So for example, when you start learning guitar, you might grip a pick like this, right? Very wrong. But you play like that for a while and you start to wonder why you can only play James Hetfield riffs. And once you realize it needs to change, you have to go back and start over, because now it's become instinct. And then you think that it might be too difficult to change the technique, so you just carry on with it anyway. But the truth is that you can fix it. And the best way to do this is to have a teacher who can really point out what you're doing wrong with your technique and what you should be doing instead. But if you already know what you're doing wrong and you know what you need to change, but you're struggling to do it, then etudes can help a lot. And if you haven't heard of an etude before, it's almost like a mix between an exercise and a song. So it's like a musical exercise, right? And its purpose is to focus on one specific technique. They're a lot more fun to play than regular exercises. So the third problem that you might be having is the comfort zone. Now this is arguably the most important part of the video, because most of us suffer from this to some degree or another. Right, so this happens once we start getting decent at a certain style of music or certain techniques, and we stay stuck there. We don't want to move away from them. If I'm playing pentatonic solos and I get good at them and I just stick with the pentatonic solos because nothing else is appealing anymore, it's just going to hold me back. And while it's good to master something, oftentimes we don't actually master the technique or the style. We play it in a very mediocre way and it becomes easy to us, so we're never really challenging ourselves. And the only way to break out of this is to purposely go out of your way, find techniques you're not good at, find styles you're unfamiliar with, and really just try to immerse yourself in learning something new. It may be unpleasant and you might have to struggle through some pain to get it done, but it's the only way to grow as a guitarist. Alright, so the fourth problem is something that most people don't talk about, but I think it's actually very important. And this is what I call modern distractions. So it's great being a musician in the 21st century, because we have access to so many different resources if we want to learn. We can go onto YouTube, there's Guitar Pro, there's online guitar courses, online guitar lessons, all sorts of cool stuff. So being online is awesome and it's great, but the problem is that we now have very short attention spans and it makes practicing more difficult. Right, how many times have you been on YouTube and you're watching a video and you're trying to learn something about guitar, and then some other video about cats or something pops up and you click on that and you watch it instead, and suddenly all the practice you were going to do is just not going to happen. And something a lot of us do as well is that we pull up a video, we've got it right in front of us, and we're practicing guitar while we're watching something that's completely unrelated. So if this is you...
The origins of meme sounds. The brush sound effect came from a vine of a basketball player named Tony Former collapsing after...
You might think that you're improving by multitasking, practicing while doing something else, but really you're laying bad foundations, you're learning bad techniques, bad habits, and you're unaware of it while you're doing it. So the way to fix this is to be mindful of it and be disciplined. So if you are going to use your phone and the internet to watch videos on YouTube like this one about getting better, you need to go off afterwards and apply the knowledge. Make sure you don't lose it and don't get sucked into any other rabbit holes that are taking you away from practicing. Right, you can do that afterwards. And another thing that helps with this is to print out your tabs or your sheet music or use guitar books to learn from. Having your music right in front of you helps a lot with minimizing distraction. You just need to make sure you've got a music stand to put all your music on. By the way, if you are looking to get a music stand, the one I have here with me is the KraftGeek Music Capsule. And this really is a cool little music stand. It's fairly priced, lightweight and sturdy, and it's also super simple to set it up and take it down. But the best part, in my opinion, is how portable it is. Once you've collapsed it, it's small enough to take with you to your next band practice or show. Plus, you can pick up these optional accessories like the sheet music light, mobile device mount, and this neat carrier bag as well. So yeah, it really is a sweet little piece of gear, but don't just take my word for it. It won the Best in Show award at NAMM 2024. If you do want to pick one up, you can use my discount code SHRED for 15% off of your next order. If you're interested, you can find all the links in the description. If you do get one, you'll be supporting my channel, so thank you very much for that. And a huge thank you to KraftGeek for working with me on this video. Anyway, back to business. The fifth thing that's holding back your guitar playing is that you have the wrong mentality. So a lot of us are either too hard or too soft on ourselves. When we're too hard on ourselves, we hear something we really want to learn how to play, but we think we just can't do it, it's out of reach, it's too difficult, we'll never be able to attain it. And that keeps us stuck because we become scared of failure, so we don't even try. And it's equally a problem if you're too soft on yourself. There's a lot of guys who think that they are the bee's knees because they can play a Metallica solo, but that's where it ends. And the truth is, no matter who you are, you always have something to improve. So the way to fix a bad mentality when you're learning guitar is to set realistic standards for yourself. Right? If you are a beginner, it's okay that you can't shred solos or that you can't play scales very fast or that you can't sweep pick. That's okay. These things come with time. It's not a race. You don't have to compare yourself to the guys around you who've been playing for many years. And if you are learning something challenging, you need to break it up into bite-sized chunks so that you can digest them. Right, that's the best way to learn, to compartmentalize everything. Right, and if you think very highly of yourself and you think that you're the greatest guitarist ever, the only cure for that is to be humble. And you can humble yourself by taking a recording of yourself playing something very difficult and then send it to a classical guitarist. They will very quickly bring you back down to earth. So the sixth and final thing that might be holding you back as a guitarist is a controversial one. And that is that you don't know your music theory.
How dare you!
And I know, you tell a guitarist that he's got to learn music theory, and then the torches and pitchforks come out, and there's someone in the comments saying that Jimi Hendrix never learned any music theory, and he was great. And all that stuff is fine, but I really do think that it's holding you back. Right? We often forget that music is a language. If I want to learn how to speak Norwegian and I learn 1,000 Norwegian words, that does not mean I can speak the language. And I won't be able to speak the language until I learn the structure and mechanics of it. And music theory is no different. I'm not saying you have to go off and become Beethoven, but getting a basic grasp of music theory will help your playing immensely. You'll understand why things work the way they do, why scales are the way they are, why chords have the qualities that they have, and it really unlocks the fretboard and it helps you with your own compositions as well. By the way, if you are a guitarist and you're interested in learning some music theory that is centered around the guitar and how to apply music theory to your guitar playing, I will be starting a series on that soon, so you can stick around for that if you want. But anyway, that's all from me, guys, and I hope you found at least something in this video helpful. If you have, please consider leaving a like or a comment. That helps me out a lot. And of course, you can subscribe if you want to stick around for more. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me, so thank you very much for everything. And thanks again to KraftGeek as well for working with me on this video. So good luck with your practicing, and I hope you all have a great day further. Cheers.